This video is about a problem I had with a modulator once it connected it up to my Eico 720. The modulator is an Eico 730, and I posted on the Boat Anchors forum on QRZ some of the issues I had with it. And some of the hams that responded were and the issue was, and this initially started, was I did read the manual before I turned everything on, and but obviously not thoroughly enough. And one of the issues that I had, well, the big issue I had was I put one hand here, notice I have a glove, and one hand here when I was adjusting it, and I got wound up with a 500 volt shock from ground to ground. Because what I didn't do is I figured, of course they are grounded to each other through the 8-pin octal plug, at least that way. But of course they were not. And there were 500 volts here and nothing here. And that was a shocking revelation to me. And I said some kind of really nasty words when that happened. So fortunately, this is not that. We're not going to be in that situation now. So, in reading about this, I found out how important. Actually, not reading and being told on the forum that how important the ground was, critically important. So, at some point, I will sell this. I will sell this as working. I won't sell that as working. I will sell it for parts, and I might disable some of it so that the person who gets it really has to think about it more than I did. In any event, in going over the manuals yesterday, I spent about 2 hours looking at the schematic and pasted up the schematic and got it all together, and still had some trouble figuring out why it's working the way it is, which is what I'm going to demonstrate to you. Because the way, if you put the dummy plug in, or to call it the Burt plug, if you put the dummy plug in, when you put the dummy plug in, that connects B plus to the final. And so you can operate CW on it. However, when you plug in the modulator plug, the octal plug that goes to the modulator, B plus runs through the modulator. Naturally, you were thinking B plus, you vary the B plus with modulation. That's a great thing, and that gives you amplitude modulation, more carrier, less carrier. Except that doesn't seem to be the way it works here. When I turned everything on, I expected to see some power output. Now I'm going to put on a receiver here, and we'll see if there's any carrier. Let me see if I can hold this straight. Okay, there doesn't seem to be any carrier. Let me go back. We're on AM, and there does seem to be a little carrier on standby. Okay, I put it in tune, and it does get quieter, but there's no carrier. Okay, that's understandable. However, when I throw it into transmit, there should be a carrier, but there is no carrier, at least a substantial one. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to pick up a microphone, a D104, by the way, D104, and I'm going to talk into it. Notice I still am wearing the glove. 1, 2, 3. Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to show you what the receiver looks like. Hello, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So not too happy. That's not the way it's supposed to be. So it looks like, in a sense, it almost looks like sideband because you only get modulation. I don't know, maybe if I put this in, I wonder if I put this in the sideband position. Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4. There is a little carrier. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello, test. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't really see it. Anyway, so that's the issue, and you can see when I speak, it does. This works, and when I speak, it modulates. But boy, there's essentially no carrier. So I'm going to, and let's see, if I put this on, it doesn't change anything. So maybe I'm not sure what I'm doing. I'm not sure. I have no clue as to why I'm getting what I'm getting. So I'm going to put this back into standby, and I have one master plug that shuts off everything, and I'm going to shut that off, and that's the situation.